time in a live stream, but I haven't time, so now I have little time and we can play together. Please remember that I'm kind of beginners, so I doesn't have much knowledge right now, but I'm trying the best. And actually with the last kind of deals need to do, and I was quite busy and I haven't played during maybe 2 weeks last, or maybe even 3, so so how it's gonna be, I don't know, but we can communicate with you. Hope you are doing well. So let's go. Yes, I little forget it. Okay, let's go again. So how are you doing? How is your days last? Last days was very hard and actually was running and a lot of things done. Good, but it was really making me so much tired. Yes, and I don't know how you feel. I think same. A lot of people was feeling that much tired themselves during last week, like especially before this Monday. So yes, previous week was really hard, a lot. And how about you? How are you doing? And let's go continue. So I'm playing twice each melody. Why? Because it's good to practicing, and actually it's good to remember the style of melody. And if you forget, as me for example, sometimes I'm forgetting because I'm not visiting, I doesn't have practice like sometimes not every week. It means, yes, that you can a little bit losing your practice. I hope so. My pride, the pride, and how it say, like the down from Mario Dario Marinelli, yes, and Pride and Predictions, kind of like this. So I hope so. It's still in my mind, in my memory. But yes, when you're doing like when you're missing your practice, it's really hard to remember sometimes. And better way to recover the play, to recover the melody, is to play twice minimum, okay? Same, I mean. siesta in the place where I am now. So siesta is really, really important, and people all following these rules. As and I become so maybe also same soon. I need to open air here because there is nothing to breathe. Maybe that's why I want to sleep, because less fresh air. Yes. I forgot quite a lot. And my fingers today not very straight and not very, how to say, flexible, something like not should be, but that's okay, need to recover. I'm playing without any sheets. Yes, and I doesn't have here nothing. Is that I doesn't have practice all the time, and it's so annoying because you like starting again and again from the beginning or kind of very middle. By me, it's very middle. Yes, it's good. I remember all the sheets for memory, but the play, the game, the play, the melody is not how it should be. It can be more professional, more nice, more harmony. So but not. Yeah, but anyway, good that I remember that. Hard, like like small mistakes, like you not clearly playing. Gosh, yeah, can be. important for beginners when you learning the melody. Learn how you playing sheets with your fingers. This is very helpful strategy, because your fingers, your body will not forget, even if your memory too much full of everything. So, but fingers and your body will not forget which one finger playing which one sheet. So, for long term, like this melody, you remember I played before this melody. I learned like 25 years ago maybe, and I learned by myself, and I learned with exactly the fingers. And this is only one melody which I remember from music school I finished. Okay, so all others, it was actually not what I want to learn. So yes, this is also important, that you choosing by yourself what you like and what you really want to learn and to play. And second moment is, yes, you remembering the correct positions for every fingers on every sheets. This is very important thing. So what else I know? Okay. What else? What else? I know something more, but okay, good. One more time. Not really class, just took my attention to the kind of stairs. Oh gosh. So, now, the justice and prediction. А дальше на сюда. Я не взяла ноты. I didn't took my sheets, so yes, need to go home. I need to take it, and after I can finish it. Voila, voila. I didn't remember all of this. Okay. легенький переход был вниз, да, а потом переход я подзабыла. Ну ладно, давай еще раз. А, как смазано некрасиво. Okay, voila, that's it. 50 minutes I play with you was nice to recover the game, the game, yeah, it's like football game, kind of. And yes, need more practice again and again, and I hope this summer gonna give me possibility to learn and finish this down so I can move on maybe at autumn time with the new melody. I have 2 of them on my Qui. Actually I have 5 on my Qui, but if it's gonna be same like now, so it's 1 melody per year, it's quite very slowly, not fun, totally not fun. So, and we're gonna finish with Ganon.
Thank you so much. It was 1 hour altogether. So bye bye. Have a good day, weekend, and please keep yourself safe as much as possible. Hope all of the worlds in the planet gonna finish, but it's kind of utopia for this style of people and their curious about power and violence. And actually, if we're gonna see men doing this violence, men, I don't know how it's possible that we're living all in the same world, in the same planet, we're living in the same environment, but men always fighting. Yeah, okay, it's kind of nature for them, but now is not the time of ancient, now is not the time of the past, when you need to fight that much and to show that power. Like now you can live with all of the gadget and all of the IT technology, you can live much harmony, nice, comfortable life. And to grow your talents, now you have plenty of possibilities to grow your talents. There is so musician equipments, plenty of them. There is so plenty of, I don't know, style of dancing, a lot of different books, interesting arts, plenty of those, not like it was before. So really you can also the traveling much more easier now, so you don't need to walk or to drive the horses for how many days to get somewhere. So now everything is more easier for people, but at the same time they continue war. What for? For the power? Who cares about that power? Hello, wake up, really. And why men always not happy about something, about some improvement, about something better things, about something good stuff, always kind of position for or not happy or kind of manipulating. What for? What in your brain? Really, I'm so tired, and so this topic annoying me. Like, if we will see, have you seen somewhere that women participating and starting the war and participating in the war, like women fighting? No. Men go into that war, men trying to always doing kind of violence and kind of manipulating things to get power, even in families. What's going on in your brain, man? Hello, all of those. Stop violence, stop your fighting. There is no necessary now. It's just silly and sad and silly. You don't want to less women now want to communicate with men just because they have this habit from the past, but the habit's gonna disappear very soon, and that violence, that war, what you creating, there is no need of this war anymore. Try to fix your heart, and those women who provocating men for fighting or for something like this, also make it peace in your heart, in your soul. Try to analyze yourself, how you feel in yourself when you are alone. Are you feeling yourself good and comfortable when you are alone? Do you know what to do with your time, with
the space where you stay, how to grow yourself, how to improve, how to rest at least. Or you always searching the people with whom you can discuss kind of gossips or kind of problems, and kind of creating kind of trauma or drama. Oh my god, how many people and how many also women still, and men, all of them, they love, they adore the drama. Hello, come on, wake up. We don't need that violence anymore, we don't need that drama. It's those people becoming step by step, day by day, less. So you will be at less position or at a growing position. Who you are. First of all, find the peace in your heart and stop that violence and anger which you're hiding inside. Stop hiding it, but also don't throw it to other people. Go do some work, hello. Go to gym, do some exercise, go start learning some new, I don't know, arts. Have a good weekend, guys. And think.